2 bolts, 17 millimeters. We're going to go ahead and take those off to remove the caliper. This doesn't just slide off, so it's real good if you just take a screwdriver in here and pry the caliper off. If you leave the top bolt in, it just swivels up. Now you have access to the brake pads. This is the caliper. Now what we need to do is compress the caliper so we can put everything back on after the fact. I like to do it when it's on the car, it's a little bit easier. There's special tools for this, but I just use a C-clamp. From this angle you can see that's how you know they're compressed, is if you see this cylinder right here. That's how you know if it's completely compressed. If you see the cylinder will be completely flush. But yeah, as you crank it down, it'll line up with the caliper. Once you get it flush, you can take it apart and you're done. Here's a before and after shot. You see I've compressed this caliper. You see it's completely flush, the cylinder with the housing body. This particular one, I have not compressed yet. You see how it's protruding out? As you twist down the C-clamp, it'll align it so it's flush. That's how you know you're done, is when it's completely flush. That way we can put the brake pads on and we'll be good to go. The brake pads are typically, as they wear down, they are thicker than the old ones, and so you have to recompress these, otherwise nothing will fit. These will be too skinny and you won't be able to fit over the pads and rotor. Now they're both compressed. Now that we have the caliper compressed, let's go and take it off so we can swap out the rotors. Now what I do, now that the caliper bolts are out, this thing just dangles on this power line. So what I do is I just use a rubber strap to kind of tie it up so it hangs out of the way. Now in order to move the rotor, I have to remove this bracket. We got to remove this and here. Hang onto the bracket because it'll fall off after you undo the bolts. Now what we got to do is you got to remove the one rotor screw to take this off. I've already pre-loosened it, so a trick if this gets stuck, take a hammer, make sure you're using the right size screwdriver, and you hammer the back of it. What it does is it breaks up the corrosion and it loosens this. You might have to hammer on it about 20 times or so like I did, but it'll loosen it, and just gradually turn it each time you hit it. Careful not to hurt yourself. But yeah, once it comes loose, then your rotor comes off. Well, in theory, it might be a little rusted, but there you go. Got me some real nice cross-drilled and slotted rotors. The reason being is these other rotors were worn so heavily and they wore so fast that I didn't want to have that problem again. So I picked up some high-performance parts, as you should as well. I'll link the information below. When you put these back on, make sure to line up your screw hole, your set screw hole. You put the screw back in. Let's go ahead and get our screws lined up first. A lot of people use fancy tools and a lot of extra greases and components, but I haven't found that any of them really make any difference, to be honest. Now the brake pad with the wear sensor goes in the back.
Just line it up.
Now a neat trick that I use, these come with these little clips. I don't know if you can see these, they actually clip onto the brake pads. So what I do to hold the brake pads into place while these clips are on, this makes it a little easier. There's little holes in the tops, like that, and another one on the bottom, like that. Let's go ahead and take down the caliper. My little trick, again, it's just a rubber strap. Got your compressed caliper here. Compress this ahead of time, so it's real easy to put back on.
I'm going to start with the top. I'm going to take a top screw, top bolt. Tighten this thing all the way down.
Once you have the top one tightened, it just swivels. Now it goes in and out and it swivels as well. So we'll just line this sucker up, take off the clamp. And you'll see down below these springs, they compress. So compress it in, then slide the caliper over top of it. That's it. Now you're done. Go ahead and put the wheel back on and safe driving.